Make sure we're on.
Just tuned it in.
Global and worldwide.
Hitting you on the one with no delay. Because it's the fighter's voice.
The fighter's voice.
With your fighting host, Richard ORTIZ.
And the formidable co-host,
Mr. Cole Escovedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
The fighter's voice. The only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition. We got a great show for you today. Today with us, we got Mike Ruther, the writer, the exposure of the fighter's voice. And then we got with us the junior WBO lightweight champion of the world, Mr. Jamel. I'm Jamel Herring. I said Jamal. Man, his mom's really going to be mad. His mom is really going to be mad. Or you know what? Let me fix this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jamel Herring Show. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
It does sound good. Man, I thought that was Jay-Z in the middle right there. You know, rocking,
man, it's good to see you again, man. It's good to see you again, man.
There you go. There you go. How's everything going, man?
Everything's going good. I can't complain. Still here, still healthy. So I'm blessed. I'm happy. You know, it's good to, like I said, it's good to once again talking with you guys. So, you know, I'm feeling good about things.
That man, that's good. You know what? I've noticed that you've been busy. I've noticed that you're out having fun, man. I mean, you're doing your things. You're posting more than usual. I mean, we get to see a little bit of more of your family, a little bit of more of your private life on social media, right, which is good because a lot of people, when they see a fighter, they think it's just this Rocky character, you know, the invincible or has no problems, doesn't like to watch TV, doesn't like to relax, and you exposed yourself in a good way, man. You let us inside your life. I appreciate that.
And like I said, I appreciate you guys. I mean, plus it's definitely a good time to, you know, just tune in with people and let them know that, you know, the fighters are human. Just as they are as well. So it's definitely, you know, I've definitely been trying to just stay more in touch with the people out there for sure.
And you're doing a good job of just that. Mike, my man, you've been busy too, man. I mean, tell us what you heard today.
Uh-oh.
Your mic is low, Mike. Your mic is low.
We'll have to get back to Mike. Mike's got to turn the mics on. Go back to you guys. Here we go.
Yeah, Mike, you got to put the mic on, Mike. You know, Mike could join us in a little while. Jamel, I mean, tell us, man. I mean, where at your house do you have your belt, man? Is there a special place for it? Is it right over the chimney? Is it in a trophy case? Where do you have that bad boy at?
Right, it moves all over. The kids love taking my belts out for some reason. So right now it's in my living room, right by all of my stuff. But my stuff always becomes their stuff in about a matter of seconds. So they always move it. But I know when I'm in Kansas, my trainer, Bo Matt McIntyre, he takes my belt and he keeps it in his room. That's a funny true story. So he keeps the belt in his room for display.
Hey, man, I know when no one's looking, man, it's just like when your favorite song is on, you start singing, but when no one's around, he puts that belt around, he says, yeah, it's all me right here.
So, yeah, it definitely was a team effort. So, I always give him the same love, and, I love that he's happy about that accomplishment, even though we know he has also Terrence Crawford in our camp as well, but he's definitely proud of me just as much as he's proud of Bud as well.
Oh, absolutely. And like, last show, I mean, we talked about that, how Bud was such a team player. When right after the show in Fresno, California, your last fight, he made sure, okay, this is herring time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'm actually expected to go back out there, actually, probably in the next coming weeks, but like a little pre-camp just to shake out. Like we'll have the gym to ourselves anyway. So we'll still be taking, the safety precaution as well. But I'm probably just, like I said, I haven't hit nothing in like months now. So it's time for me to go out there, stay loose and, just start mingling with my trainers and my team again.
Well, that's the life of a fighter, man. And, just embrace this downtime. But I know that competitive spirit that's in you. You want to get every edge that you can, every round that you can get in. I know you want to and you have. Tell us, man, once we go back, because I know you've had a lot of offers on the table, you let everybody know that you're available when there's a big fight. Right. Who's on your list? Who would you love to share the ring with?
Definitely Carl Frampton is definitely the number one option, of course. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to back out of that fight. But the issue is what the president basically put out was no flights internationally, are coming in and out. So I know Bob Arum put out something like a few days ago saying it would be because the monster in a way he had to they had to cancel those plans because it's going to be hard to make international fight. So I was basically putting out there like for the American fighters available, and I'm definitely here for that. And like I said, Leo Santa Cruz is here in America. He is a world champion, and that's why I put that out there. But Carl Frampton is still the number one option, but as fighters, we're here to entertain. We're here to make a living as well. So if people want to see another good fight, tell Leo Santa Cruz, and his team, out of respect, that I'm available.
That's very well said. Honestly, I was talking off air to someone, and I said, you know what? When Jamel Herring mentions Leo Santa Cruz, he's not saying, okay, I can beat this guy. He's nothing. But as a fighter, you want to fight the best. You definitely want to share the ring with him. And you're letting him know, hey, I'm not shying away from an opportunity. I'm not shying away of the opportunity to become the best. And that I appreciate and respect from you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like I said, for me, it's never going to be – I'm not going to step out of my character for anything. But like I said, as long as I voice my opinion, I'm pretty sure my voice will be heard. And then, like I said, if the people want to see it, because everyone is right now itching for just some type of boxing anyway. So the people definitely want to see it. I'm definitely here for it.
I'm glad you used that word, opinion. That is a strong word. A lot of people get upset with opinion. When I hashtag the fighter's voice, I put the only voice that matters. I got other media, they get upset, they take that personal. And, it is what it is. It's just like a hashtag. It's like a saying, have it your way, the best hamburgers in town. I truly believe in myself, but it's no disrespect to the other social media platforms or the other podcasts. And we'll touch a little bit on that. Mike, good to have you back on the show. Tell us what you heard. And Jamel, I got something for you, my man.
Okay.
All right. So Jamel will be interested in this one. Hearing little rumors here. June 6th may be one of the first fights coming back, and if they could find a way for Burchelt to get that visa or get the clearance or the thing gets lifted, it'll be Valdez and Burchelt somewhere in the U.S.
That's good. Yeah.
So I've seen a couple stories. I've heard a little bit, and hey, let's start getting it going already.
And I wish the best for those two individuals. But especially like I said, even though it is a fight in my division. And it's a fight that I would love to have either one of those guys. But as a boxing fan, and I definitely, and as a person, I definitely will hope, they can continue, with that negotiation process and actually make the fight not only just for themselves, but for the people who enjoy the sport of boxing. So that's definitely a start, and it's definitely a good thing to hear.
Yeah, that was my thought too. I know a lot of big fights probably won't. Maybe towards the end of the year, but any fights right now, let's get it going. As I believe Valdez's manager Frank Esparza said, of course we want the fans back in there, but
Right.
at some point the fighters want to fight too. So you got to do what you got to do. So if they're going to be no fans for a little bit,
it's the we all want fans in the arenas, of course. Any sports outing, concerts, things of that nature. But I look at it like this on the other side of the business. Just imagine how high the ratings will be because everyone who attend will be at home. So I'm pretty sure the broadcast stations, they would love that. But like I said, if you can't get people in the venues, I'm pretty sure the viewer numbers will be out of this world once sports and events start conducting again.
Just look at the NFL draft; it did the highest ratings it's done, and it was done all through cell phones practically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So that would be big numbers no matter what.
Well, we're all anticipating and we're all waiting, and we can sit here and be patient, man. But can you imagine, Mike, being a fighter and that's your art form? It's like a lion, and you're telling him to be still. It's like Mike Tyson early in his career when he was knocking people out. If someone said, Mike, just use the jab and move around the ring. No, Mike was out there to devour people. So these fighters have that fire in them, and it doesn't ever go out. So a fighter like Jamel, he's ready to go. He's staying in shape, staying in the gym, and like he shared with us, him and Bud will be hooking up soon, and, iron sharpens iron.
Oh, yeah, of course. And I look at it like this, and there's no disrespect to fans. Of course, I love all you out there, and I would like you guys to attend. But like I say, for most fighters who started at the bottom, we started at where there was no one in the arena. Maybe just the commentator the announcer who's announcing who's bringing you out, and the two
your
teams
family
and the family individual corners. But so that part it doesn't bother me at all. It'd be a different feeling for big fights to be in that type of atmosphere, but at the same time, most fighters, once that bell goes off, you have tunnel vision anyway, and you kind of like block out what's going on out there anyway. You maybe hear your corner, but everything else you kind of block out. So I just I would just say to make it feel like it's a live venue, just play a sound effects of a loud crowd in the background, and we go and it can feel somewhat normal.
Yeah.
There you go. There.
Hey, they do it for college football teams when they're going. Why not?
Exactly.
That's how they do their practices. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right.
Or I did hear one option was have fans at home like watching it on TV, but like how we're doing here with the video on the phone. So like they could maybe incorporate that into the broadcast, like show the emotion that you're seeing as someone goes down. That I could see that happening too, and that would be good because then the fans might even feel more because they'll be like, oh, that was me that they showed when he got knocked down, or that was me. Yeah.
We've been in arenas where they get the fans involved on the big jumbotrons and things of that nature over the ring.
Exactly.
So of course, the fans go crazy when they see themselves. So that definitely would be a good idea. Just like have fans feel like they're actually there in tune and not again seen nationwide. Just even for a quick second, that can make someone's day.
Exactly. That would be good. So I could see that working out too, and fans would like that too. Especially during the summer, the comfort of your home. So why not?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we have that privilege, and thank God that we do have this platform, this opportunity, because if not, we'd be lost. We got to breathe. And Mike, you talked about the NFL draft having the highest ratings. Well, you know what? We were just thirsty and begging for anything sports-related that was live and taking today.
Yeah.
So, Jamel, I'm going to touch on something that I saw. I noticed it, and it wasn't until just recently or just a couple minutes ago before we went on the air that it was brought to my attention. And I'm looking at it. It's very entertaining, I think. It's very fun-filled, and I got nothing but mad love and respect for you. Jamel, if I ever cross you or anything, do me a favor, my man, okay? Don't mop the floor with me.
Yeah. Tell him to take it back.
Oh man.
I'm out the floor.
Oh, Harry, class act, Jamal. Nothing but
Yeah.
love for you, baby. Class
You guys
act.
know me. I don't bother nobody. But it's like everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's boxing. I get that. If you think somebody's gonna beat me, I respect that. My job is to basically go out there and prove you wrong at the end of the day. That's my job. I can't. And hopefully that'll change your opinion. But when you go out there and blatantly disrespect me and saying that like somebody's gonna just wipe like come on, man. But shout out to Stacks Ringside. I still have my smile on my face, but yeah, shout out to Anthony, aka Stacks. I mean, like I said, I'm not a mean guy. I'm not here to cyber bully anybody either. But like, come on, man. Like, you're entitled to your opinion. That's fine. You think you can beat me? Cool. But just don't go out there and say like somebody's going to just walk, dog walk me like that. But
Yeah.
Hey, man, I just went there to have some fun. I mean, the show is nothing but fun, entertaining. And we talk about things that go on today, man. That's no disrespect to anybody. The Flores camp, Hey, I've always been welcome there at their camp, have nothing but love and respect for him. Gabriel Flores Jr. will be a world champion someday.
Gabe is my guy. Gabe is definitely my guy. It was nothing anything towards, Gabe or his father. Like I said, I wish him the best of luck too. Gabe Flores is definitely a future talent. A future star. I love how he's young right now, but what he did in his hometown in Stockton, and he had that huge draw. A lot of shout out to Rick who also helped put it together. But what I'm saying, like you see a lot of guys who are at contender level who can't draw like that. So yeah, Gabe is definitely gonna be something special. So yeah, it's never any ill will towards him and his father, anything like that. But like I said, it's just when you try to like on the other side of it, try to throw me under the bus like I'm just a nobody. I'm like, that's when I have to step in. But like I said, shout out to Gabe Flores and his camp.
That's right. Actually, Gabe, if you're listening or watching, man, got to have you on the show, the fighter's voice, man. And since we're talking about Supreme Boxing, Nancy, I text you today. Actually, next month I want to do an all-female guest, and I'd love you to be a part of that. And hey, come aboard the fighter's voice. Love to have you on as a guest. And there we are.
Yeah, Nancy's a cool person. It's all love. That's what I said. There's no ill will towards Supreme Boxing as a whole. They got some good people over there. And so one bag egg does. I'm not gonna try to bring down on the whole platform. That's just not me. Like I'm never that type of person who just try to. Like I said, I still follow Supreme Boxing, so it's a whole love.
And nothing but love, man. It's all good, man. Anthony, if you're watching and listening, appreciate your support. You've actually reached out to me when we first started off. So enough about that. Let's get back to the Jamel Herring Show. How does that sound, man? The Jamel Herring Show.
The Jamel Herring Show's featuring the fighter's voice. That sounds like you guys are great. Like we can actually get used to doing this. I mean, honestly, like I have my free time when I'm not in training. I have no time. I have no problem speaking with you guys. You guys have been not only just great support system, but you guys have been great people in general. So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about to me it's all about character at the end of the day. So anytime the fighter's voice wants to incorporate the Jamel Herring Show even for a day or so, I'm here for you guys.
There we go. And I got to make sure that when you wake up in the morning, man, that you have your coffee and you're rocking this right here, man. This glass up here. We got to get you one of these. Let me give you that.
I got to get one of those.
There you go.
That's too big for coffee.
Oh, you can fill it up halfway, man.
Kind of another beverage, but we won't touch on that.
Right, exactly.
There you go. Yeah. No plugging, no free sponsorships right there, man. We're not going to give anybody something free. But one thing I do want to ask you, man, hey, I know you're a sports fanatic, man. Talk to us about who's your basketball team, who's your football team, and who's your baseball team. Those who don't know who you follow.
You guys are trying to stress me out during the quarantine, man. My team is everything New York is for me. So you gotta go. I got to, like, as a kid, me as a kid, I picked because my favorite color was green at the time. So I had to go with the Jets. Then the Jets. They always come there. They always get the short end of the stick, and then I got to hear from the Giants fans because Jen is a Giants fan, so I gotta, hear her when they do big or they win a Super Bowl. I gotta hear that. Then, I'm a Knicks fan. Then we didn't get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, so I've been stressed out. In terms
I
of,
love the Knicks. That's my team. I got to interrupt you. New York's my team since Patrick Ewing, King. I mean, come on now.
Anthony Mason, Allen Houston, all those guys back. Even Charles Oakley back. That '90s Knicks squad was a good squad. It was a good squad. But when we got to the new millennium, everything. I mean, at least the Yankees are still holding up, holding us in the Rangers, in the New York Rangers and so. But yeah, football and basketball is a stressful time for New York. But I'm still hanging in with them, so I can at least say I'm part of their legacy. Since I in my own profession, I bring a championship back to New York. But I'm definitely room for those franchises.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your hometown. Let's talk about you growing up, man. I mean, how did it feel when you brought that title, that world title, back home?
For me, it was a great feeling, but I kind of wanted to basically shed light on where I'm from, because where I'm from in Coram, New York, of Long Island, there's a lot of bad things that's always been, if anything's mentioned about Coram, for the most part, it's always in the news, and there's always something, horrific. Like I just actually last summer I just lost my godbrother. He was killed at his own party, shot and killed at his own party. So it's like, for me, I try to be that positive, outlook of where I'm from. So, and I try to remind people that there are good people that come from Coram. It's not just filled with just, violence and basic stupidity. But so when I got to bring that title back home, everyone was actually proud and happy. Even like I said, but even for that spare moment, people was actually just happy to be say I'm from Coram, New York. I'm from Gordon Heights and things of that nature. So that's why I actually, one reason why I still try to I work hard, but I still try to try to be as positive as I possibly can, because I understand that there's kids back at home that still look up to me, and they read the story or they see what I do in terms of fighting on TV. So I always try to be be a stand-up guy for my hometown for the most part.
And you definitely are there. There's another question there.
Definitely class act all the way around. What keeps you grounded? What keeps you, but besides your daughter? Because at home you're just dad. People see you as a role model. People see you in the limelight. People see you as a world champion. People see you as one of the big dogs in training. But what keeps you grounded?
Oh, what keeps me grounded? Like you said, you pointed out, definitely my my kids for sure, because as a young Marine, we tend to live wild, and we get in trouble. Like when I was first deployed to Iraq, I was 19 years old, and I was still a kid. But at the time, I was like living like I didn't care what happened tomorrow type thing. I had that mindset growing up. But it's like once I started having people depend on me, like I said, that's just my kids, or people look up to me, especially in this boxing world. That's what keeps me grounded, because in an instance, you can go from here to there, and you could just ruin it for everyone in that small instance. So definitely, I would say not just my kids, of course, but the people who look up to me, they definitely keep me grounded, because even now as a world champion, I'll never to get out of character or be somebody that I'm not, or act like I forgot where I came from for the most part. So that means that just being my roots is what basically keeps me grounded, because like I said, my mom and everyone can tell you when I'm home, I'm just regular Jamel. So but I love that. I don't want nobody to look at me as, oh, he's a world champion. No, still come up to me like I'm a regular human being. We can speak one-on-one freely. It doesn't matter of what I do. I'm still gonna be that same person you met since day one.
And you are, man. I had a repost today, man, of that video that we shot in Las Vegas, man. Only because you said, Richard, it was so funny. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was entertaining, and I had to repost that thing today, man. People love it. I mean, when you see it, I mean, you're coming over and you can see the masses of people behind you, and my man's just coming through smooth, part of the Red Sea, rocking the Fighters Voice gear. I love it.
Oh yeah. You guys. Like I said, Rich, man, you've been a great support since day one. I never forget that. Like I said, from the time I came to Fresno, everyone showed love. Everyone wants me to come back to Fresno, so I'm not straying from that idea at all. Like I said, my last fight in November will not be the last time I fight in Fresno. We can make it at least once annually for all that matters to me, because like I said, I bring out the Marines. Good people come out. I still see people still talking about the event till this day, and especially with the ring entrance. And like I said, I just like I said, I just love it. I love that's what I love about the sport. I mean, for the most part, it's the people. That's what matters to me. Is mainly as long as people go home happy, I'm happy. I'm just happy. It's not always about who makes the most money and does this and that and the third. No, of course it's about legacy, but you want to be remembered as someone that people love at the end of the day. And I surely get a lot of love in Fresno, and coming from a guy from way across from the other side in Long Island, that means a lot.
Hey, no worries here, man. I recognize talent. I recognize class when I see it. And even before you're world champion, I said, hey, we got to get you on the Fighters Voice podcast when you were working out in the sun at the casino. Remember that?
We got to get in that studio. I never forget that. I never forget. Like I said, I got to get in the studio. So definitely, I've been traveling back. Well, before this, I've been traveling back and forth to California, so I have no issue at least traveling just to get in the studio to sit with you guys and laugh and speak in the same room for a change. But definitely, I ain't forget that, Rich. All right, like I said, it was hot out there that day though, but I ain't forget.
It was hot. It was hot. It was hot that day. Hey, Mike, I'm gonna let you jump in on this one too. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat right now, Jamel. Tommy the Hitman Hearns at 147 pounds. How does he do against Bud Crawford?
Tommy Hearns, man. Like I said, Tommy Hearns, he'll give Bud some problems too, and I'll FaceTime Bud and tell him, I'll FaceTime him. But Tommy Hearns was lethal because it's the range. I mean, look what he did. You can argue that he was winning that first fight with Ray Leonard. People say he won the second fight with Leonard for sure, but that first fight he was up, and the reason why, because he knew how to use his range. So Tommy Hearns, not just Bud, but I believe Tommy Hearns would have gave anybody a hard time at the current welterweights in the division. You too, Errol. I love you too, bro. But Tommy Hearns,
the Hitman, aka Motor City Cobra. Okay, Mike, I got one for you. Tommy Hearns at 160 pounds. How does he do against Canelo?
If there is any weakness to Hearns, is maybe his chin is a little suspect. If anything, that would be it. And I mean, but he's got that's what makes it more tougher is that Hearns got that length, but Canelo's fought against bigger dudes almost his whole career and has known how to counter him, get inside, go to the body. So, I mean, just because of who it is, I would have to favor Hearns, but I would never be surprised if Canelo caught him with one of those counter shots and ended it. That one, honestly, to me, would probably be a toss-up. I would lean to Hearns, but I could understand anybody telling me Canelo. That's tough, though. That's a tough one.
I agree. I'm glad I ain't next question.
No, I mean, Tommy, today I was trying to break down, okay, if you were to put together a fighter, and I didn't even get past the left hook, I would definitely go Julio Cesar Chavez. The right hand, I would personally pick Tommy Hearns. And then I was thinking, who could I pick for the jab? I love Tommy's jab. I love Larry Holmes' jab. But, Jamel, who would you pick? Have you ever put together a fighter? Okay, who do you have?
The jab?
Yes.
Cortez.
Ooh, that piston.
The bazooka.
That piston.
Bazooka.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the bazooka.
Hey, I love, favorite fight. Like I said, one of my favorite Oscar De La Hoya fights when he fought I Cortez. That was a good fight. And that jab was all of a sudden De La Hoya a lot and just about that half of that fight. It's just the jab. But, I Cortez definitely had a good jab. I will also say, maybe not the most powerful jab at the time, but it was effective. I will also say Winky Wright, because Winky Wright was a straight 1-2 at 1.2. Remember when they fought Trinidad? It was just straight 1-2, And the jab. And even when he fought Jermaine Taylor, he was kept keeping him, honest with just straight punches, and the jab was the key.
Jab, yeah.
He offset a lot of fighters and neutralized their strengths. Winky, you're right, man. I'm glad you brought him up. Overlooked big time on his defensive skills.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very underrated fighter.
A lot of people thought
it kind of reminded me a lot of Chris Bird.
Yeah. I can agree.
Yeah.
So besides Canelo today, and also I'll give Jose Ramirez, I'll put him in that pool too. Of all time, I got to go with Julio Cesar Chavez in the body shots. Who would you put in that category, Jamel?
With the body shot?
Yes, sir.
Errol Spence.
Ooh, if I the early 2000s, Cotto, of course, got to put that in there.
Oh yeah.
Got to put early coming out the prospect contender, Miguel Cotto, when he was on King, to really hurt you with that left hook to the body.
You gotta put Mickey Ward in there.
I don't want to overlook. Absolutely, I don't overlook the body shot.
Mickey Ward lose every round and put you out with the body
and then kill you with one punch, man.
Yeah, Mickey Ward, that body shot was what made Gotti, dig down deep. You could see the pain and agony in the first fight between him and Gotti because of those body shots. So I could just imagine how. Yeah, I don't even want to, because we were about the same size, so I don't want to imagine myself being put in a position where I would have to fight a prime, a prime Ward during that era.
I've seen that fight probably thousands of times, and I still don't know how Gotti got up from that. That's just hard beyond, man. Yeah. I've seen people cry from those punches, and he was hurt, and he got up and just kept going.
It's funny you guys bring that up because the body attack is from watching the old era, the Chavez era, and those guys.
Yeah,
is the reason why I still try to implement a good body attack myself, because I like a lot of fighters today. They always want to do. Everybody wants to try to. Well, most people want to try to be a Floyd and be slick, but I always say if you take out the body, all that
the head falls.
The head will fall, and you'll especially with a lot of young guys, you take their legs out. All that everything will come together and fall into place. But I always try to tell kids, man, why don't you guys ever go for the body? It's too much head hunting. That's why I can't stand today. It's too much head. Well, Jose definitely implements a good body attack, but a lot of these guys is too much head hunting.
Definitely,
I agree with you. Two guys I don't want to leave out, and then I want to go on and tell you a quick story about Arturo Gatti. I don't want to leave out the body snatcher, and also remember Gerald McClellan had a great left hook to the body.
Yeah. They thought Gerald McClellan was just a knockout artist, what he was, but he would knock you out to the body too. There's a lot of footage out there where you see Gerald putting guys down left hook, and they're crawling under the ropes because the agony and the pain is just too much.
And who might have one of the most wicked body knockouts ever is Roy Jones when he knocked out Virgil Hill with that punch to the side.
Yeah.
That was that 1 in a million shot. I was thinking of bringing that up too, but that's he hasn't really done much to the body since then, except for broke down Vinny Pazienda. But yeah, that one punch knockout. Yeah, Virgil Hill he couldn't get up because of the pain.
Well, he broke his ribs, right? Or he broke something in him. Yeah.
Broke his spirit, and that's no offense to Virgil Hill, man. But I want to tell you a quick story. I'm in Las Vegas, man. Terry Norris is getting ready to take on Joe Gotti. Remember Joe Gotti? Arturo does have an older brother at 154. And I remember I'm talking to Joe. I mean, I just remember he's decked out, nice shirt, smelling like some badass cologne. I mean, the dude's rocking. He's G'd up, ready to go. And I remember some short guy came up to him and says, "We got to go." And I looked at him, and he looked like half Chinese, right? And said, "I got to go." And his handlers goes, "Oh, that's his younger brother, Arturo." So at the time, no one even knew about Arturo coming up. They just knew, Joe Gotti had a younger brother. And it's funny how things work, Joe ended up losing, I think it was the first round. I think he got his nose busted against Terry Norris. But I just had to share that story since we were talking about Arturo Gotti.
And it's funny when you mention that era of boxing, because like Terry Norris, a lot of those guys, you know, they took losses, but it didn't ruin their reputation. That era was a lot, because if you like, I think it was Doug from Ring Magazine who posted up I think at that time, just in the middleweights, the top 10 ring rate, and all those guys, at least half of them, you know, were either world champions or have been world champions at the time, and the other half was like top coming up. And it was just crazy how things were then. Like, you know, these guys are all fighting each other, and you know, they would win some, they would lose some, but it wouldn't, you know, hammer or ruin their reputation and their legacy, because they get back in there and still could continue to fight the toughest fights out there. Unlike today, everybody's a businessman. Everybody's a businessman today. Exactly. But like I said, I love, like, even like I said, in the 90s, everybody was fighting everybody.
I agree. And you know what? How does it really ruin your career when Terry Norris loses to Simon Brown, or Simon Brown loses the rematch, or Tommy Hearns lost to Sugar Ray, or Marvin Hagler beat Tommy Hearns? The losses came from quality. Those were some huge, you can call them even wins, because they got to share the ring with those big names, and they come back and either erase that loss with the rematch. But you're absolutely right. Everybody shared the ring together. I mean, being in the ring with Roberto Duran back in that era, it was crazy. And you're right. Everybody's a businessman. Everybody wants to be the next Floyd Mayweather as far as taking out the middleman and being that businessman.
And it's crazy, like I said, even with Roberto Duran, he suffered a devastating KO loss from Tommy Hearns. But when you speak about him today, people will say that he's probably one of the greatest lightweights in the world. So it didn't, you know, like I said, and he still gets the proper respect as the others, you know, in that era, from the Haglers, the Hearns, the Leonards. So no one, like I said, it didn't ruin their legacy, and those guys still got up to go fight even more tougher fights and actually win other tougher battles later on down with their own future in their careers.
Exactly. Davey Moore. I love the fight with Iran Barkley. That was a great fight. Riddle Duran, Iran Barkley. Great fight. Yeah, so which fight influenced you the most, Jamel, growing up? I know you grew up watching those fights, but what fight said, you know what, I'm bringing that with me inside of the gym. I'm bringing that with me inside my ring walk. I'm bringing that with me in my life because it just made an impact. What fight would that be, or what fighter?
I would say the first De La Hoya Mosley fight. It's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite fights to this day, for sure. It was a great fight. It was great from the beginning all the way to the last bell. That was one of my favorite fights. Even like, true story, when I'm on a plane and I have fights in my phone that I'll just keep just to watch. That's one of the first stuff I may look over just to watch it, and just to see the raw emotion between both fighters. They're going back and forth. The atmosphere was crazy. It's probably another reason why I always said one day I want to fight in the Staples Center, because of that fight. Matter of fact, because the Staples Center, that was a huge atmosphere. But every time somebody asks me about the which fight that I remember, coming up, I always think back to that fight. And it never, it still to this day doesn't let me down. It was great. It was a great fight.
Hey, Shane Mosley, man. Shane Mosley had those wits, had that chin, very strong. Vernon Forrest caught him with the right hand, but he still withstood it, and that's a strong dude right there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first Vernon Forrest fight against Shane, that broke my heart. That was probably the first heartbreak that I had went from boxing. But Vernon Forrest, when I actually, as you get older and you start looking back on film and things like that, when you start actually studying the craft, I might say, I started like Vernon. Vernon was a real crafty guy, especially being a long range guy, and strong. And I respected his legacy to this day. I'm actually one of probably very vocal of things saying, why hasn't, Vernon's name been mentioned yet? I was definitely vocal when I always say the same thing about Diego Corrales. Diego Corrales, he may have lost to Floyd and whoever, but in his own right, he has a good resume, and he's done a lot of great for his career. So I always give my respects to the guys who did it long before I've done it.
Yeah, Diego, he would always come in with those camouflage shorts, man, real long and lanky, and he left everything in the ring, man. He brought it.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely, I wouldn't say he used his range as much, but you know, he would go toe to toe with the best of them, and he would never. You have to basically take him out on his shield because you've seen it a few times when they had to stop the fight, and then he would get upset with his corner because he wanted to go out on his shield. So that's why I loved and respected about Diego Corrales.
So in your division, man, if you can go back in time for one day, man, and we're talking about Jamel Herring, who would you like to share the ring with back then? It didn't even matter what weight class it was. Who would you love to share the ring with?
I think the last time we spoke about that, I said Robert Garcia, because Robert Garcia was tough.
Yes,
was tough, very tough girl. I mean, I never thought who I was like, darn, you know, because like a lot of those guys, they get looked over, or at the time, the little guys, that division was kind of forgotten about, or they didn't get as much attention. But you know, you gotta give respect to the Barreras and Moraleses at that time, and those super featherweight divisions, because those guys, they definitely made for a good fight with anybody. It was just up to you as the other fighter to basically keep up with them. But yeah, I would love to probably share the ring with those guys because at the end of the day, you can learn something even from your opponents. Even from your opponents, you can learn something. And, you know, those guys to me definitely are greats and will go down the Hall of Fame, of course. I wasn't the biggest Barrera fan when I was younger, but I definitely respected his craft and I respected, his passion for what he did. Like I said, I was upset. I didn't want to see him the way he went out in the one Pacquiao fight when they had to stop the fight and things like that. But Barrera was a tough dude, man. Morales is obviously my favorite of the two in that rivalry. But as you get older, you learn to respect, both individuals and their craft.
I was also a fan with the Jesse James Leija.
Yeah.
I mean, just those wars that he had with the Zuma and just, I mean, the man came to fight, man. And he actually gave Hector Macho Camacho Jr. his first Al. Caught him.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was that Al, but it was a controversial decision. I'm glad you brought that up. Hector Macho Camacho Jr. hit me up today. And he's going to start a podcast, and his first guest is going to be Jesse James Leija. So they're really taking it back.
Oh, that's good. That's a great way. That's smart and a great way to start.
Exactly, man. So I do want to talk to you about this, man. Let's talk about the businessman Jamel Herring, man. Without getting too personal, getting in your business, what have you invested in? What do you want to accomplish with your reign as a junior lightweight champion of the world?
Right now, I'm actually invested in just managing. Not just to say we all know there's guys out there in boxing, even on the promotion side that they say they wear the hat. They say they wear the hat, whatever, but they don't actually do it. But me as a human being, my thing is I'm not managed just for the paycheck, because I feel like I'm doing well just in my own career. My reason for managing is because I want to see, because you and I'm pretty sure, we all know this individual out there that's talented, but he doesn't have the backing, or he's not on the best platform with the biggest promoter. So my thing is I just want to just basically showcase that diamond in the rough. You know what I mean? So I'm not. There's a lot of talent out there who doesn't get the proper backing, and my thing is, I want to help fighters get their foot in the door, and they can and they just go from there. Of course, I'll help them along the way, but what I mean by going from there is, I don't want to be that fighter that says, "Oh, this is my guy, this is my fighter," and I'm trying to hog the spotlight. No, I want them to to take full advantage of the opportunities that I've been blessed with. So that's what I've been doing all the time. And so my main thing, hopefully 5 years from now, you'll be talking about a guy either that went from prospect level to now is top contender or even champion. So that's what I've been doing all the time. I've been mainly focusing on the younger generation, because some of these kids also, boxing is the main thing they focus on, or boxing before the whole epidemic was their only income. So my main thing right now is make sure that they're still getting what they need get through it every day by day, like normal life. And that's just me as a human being. I don't just say, oh, I'm managing fighters, and then when everything, hit a wall, I just disappeared. No, I think this is the best time for me as an individual to show my true character, how much I will go out for the back for my fighters. Like, I still text them, I ask them if they need anything. I'm still making calls. I've spoken with, like I said, Golden Boy, Top Rank. Supposed to be speaking with Eddie Hearn sometime in the near future. So I've been doing the all the groundwork and not just saying this and that and I'll just try to get you a fight date when I can. No, I want to get you guys on the best platform for the most of it I can for you.
Well, Jamel, it doesn't have to just be fighters, man. If you're trying to help somebody get from a higher platform, my man, you're talking to the show, the person right now. We got to get the fighter's voice global.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get it worldwide. I believe I see it happening, my man.
And I definitely want to start getting these guys, like speaking with you guys also, because one thing, that the more exposure, the better. So I definitely would like maybe for one day for you guys to catch up with them. And I'll send you the list of guys that I'm mentioning. Right now, Micaiah Krebs, she was a top amateur out of upstate New York. She's a world bronze medalist in amateurs. So I'm definitely supporting women's boxing for sure, and I believe she could do some great things with women's boxing. Sean Simpson for Chicago is another guy who's been coaching me since the amateurs. He's basically he's hungry. He wants to do something big. Desmond Drummond from Cincinnati, and the list goes on. Like I said, and it's just like I said, I actually help out managing musicians. Ray Moore, he sung the national anthem on my last fight in Fresno. We hooked that up with Top Rank to get him the opportunity to sing the national anthem. So shout out to Ray Moore from San Diego, and my producer Corley. And like I said, if I have the time and it's something that's unique, and I want to try it out, I'm definitely gonna go for it. Like I said, I thought I was gonna just stick with just boxing, but I got a call from JC at Wildcard King. He hit me up and it basically was saying, hey, I got a singer who needs help, and the key word was help. So if any way that I can help anybody, that's just me. So I got into the whole music thing, and now I'm setting up. We were setting up shows and things like that before this thing hit, but I just reached out to him a few days ago. I told him, hey man, once this thing clears up, we're gonna continue where we left off at and just keep his head up and just continue writing and making good music while you can. So that's what, like I said, as you can see, for me, I just like to stay busy. That's for my main thing, just to staying busy, and more importantly, helping people and just seeing people happy with their careers going, because the help that I may have given, that means a lot to me.
No, man. And you know what, Mike? A lot of people didn't know that about Jamel. They didn't know that's what he wanted to do. Yeah. These fighters, they got to hear their name mentioned on the Fighter's Voice on a platform. Yeah. I mean, they didn't expect that. So I'm glad I asked you the right question, man. And right. I'm glad that I know that. It changes how I view you. When I say changes, my respect has even went through the roof because you're wanting to give back. People always say, okay, I'm going to get back once I get this level. But you're on your way to that level. You're still giving back.
Right, yeah, I definitely wasn't going to be the guy that, okay, when my career is done, okay, let me focus on something else, or focus on helping somebody. No, I feel like, the smart thing to do is, while I'm on top and things are hot right now, why not, help, with that drawing, bring some other people onto the team to get in there as well. Especially, like I said, business and boxing is very cutthroat. So it's like, hey, you got to take advantage of every opportunity that's placed in front of you. Because, maybe one day somebody may never want to hear from you or want to see you. So it's like, why are people still talking about you? Why not get things going now for someone else that can potentially be just as good or even, like I said, I always tell people who always say, I want to be just like you. I'm like, no, I want you to be better than me. Like I said, even with my own kid, my son, Dad, I want to be just like you. It's like, no, my job is to make sure that you live the right life, but more importantly, I want you to be better than me. And that's just a father talking to a son, of course. But that's for anybody who looks up to me. I'm like, hey, I respect that, and I'm humbled by it. But there's things that I feel like I can better myself every day. So of course I don't want to stay where I'm at right now. So I want you to, if you can, I want you to possibly surpass me. It's never about Jamel Henry just hogging the spotlight or and thinking for self. No, I want to be remembered as an individual who loved his supporters for one, but definitely who loved him. So that's just me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, my next question was going to be is how do you respond to these young fighters or these other world champions or people that call you out? So, but hold that thought, because since we're talking about giving back, and I want to talk about also tomorrow's guest on the Fighter's Voice, but who's continuing to give back every fight that he takes. He could easily say, okay, I'll do this at the end of my career. And we're talking about a man who's a champion inside and outside of the ring, such as yourself. But this man continues to put Fresno on his back, on his shoulders. And I'm talking about Jose Ramirez. I mean, he continues to give back. He continues to make those donations. He doesn't post it or, hey, YouTube, I'm giving out some money, or I'm writing a check, or I'm making a donation. The man just does it. And talking about that, he's bringing awareness to the farm labor corps, to the workers that are out there that are struggling with the heat, struggling with the resources of it may be water, it may be just even masks, it may be even just they're exposing themselves to get the job done for you and me. Because we all love to drink orange juice, and we all love grapes, and we all love raisins, we all love vegetables and fruits. These laborers are out there today making it happen for us so we can stay healthy. And Jose is right behind it, pushing and bringing awareness to the whole world.
No, true story. A lot of people don't know this because I don't mention it a lot. But Jose actually, I don't think I even told Jose. You guys are probably the first to even hear this. But Jose actually, he motivated me to basically do more on my end for people, because I remember when he was a prospect with Top Rank, and he was doing the fight for water. I paid attention to all of that that he was doing, and I just what I love about Jose the most, he's a great human being. But what I definitely love about him is that he cares and loves his people. He doesn't, he remembers where he came from. I know his story because me and him, like I said, we were roommates a lot throughout the amateurs. So we used to always share our our backstories. And like I said, I respect how he remembers where his parents came from, working in the fields, and how he now, him being a world champion, even before he was a world champion, he was giving back. He was giving back to people, for those who worked in the fields and things of that nature. And he never forgot where he came from. So that's what I love about Jose. And he definitely was like, we definitely need more champions and just people in general like him. Because I can never say not one bad thing about Jose. Even if me and Jose were rivals in the division, whatever, I could never say anything bad about him, because his character moved me long before I even acknowledged his boxing skills. So, but Jose definitely motivated me to get out here and help people in my own right. So definitely give a shout out to Jose and for what he was doing. Like I said, I still got love his father, love his brother and his mother. They've been a great support every time I see them. We embrace. So I'm glad that you're having Jose on, because Jose is a real good guy. And like I said, Jose, I love you, man. You just keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, man, you will be known as not only a great champion at the end of the road, but you'll be known as a great individual. So much respect to Jose Ramirez.
Very well said, Jamel. Class act, brother. You're always a class act. Mike, when you hear that, Mike, when you hear another fighter, and I think that's exactly what the sport needs, because it's not about pride, it's not about boasting, but when you hear another fighter give respect and give props to another fighter, man, as a human being, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just hearing that story. But as media and a fan in our own right, Mike, when you hear that, how does that make you feel, man? Just of being a human being and knowing that fighter that we have on the show gives props to another fighter, man, which is rare because everybody's so competitive.
Yeah. Well, that's always good to hear, because as we've always been told, this is a gentleman's sport. So when you hear that, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Where, like, as you guys said, I believe it's Jamel that actually said it last time, is you guys are fighting, but at the end of the day, you're fighting for the same thing. You're fighting for your family. You're fighting to take care of your family. You have the same job, so you're going to respect the other person at the end of the day because you're doing the same. You know what that person's fighting for. So it's always much love and respect to hear stuff like that. And yeah, as you said, it gives you goosebumps because it helps, in times that we've seen things online that you don't want to see or you don't want to hear, something like that, like Jamel just said right now, and it just gives you hope, for the future and for humanity that there's still people like that out there, especially in the sport as manly as boxing is and how rough it is. You hear people talk like that, showing respect and love for one another. It's always good to hear.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, boxing, yeah, we know it's a warrior sport, competitive, very competitive.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like I said in the past, when it's all said and done, I would love to be like how Duran and Leonard are today, where they could just hug it out and embrace and laugh about and talk about their old fights. I don't want. For me, it's never about holding grudges or making it personal. Of course, sometimes when there's a build-up in a fight, things get ugly and animosity is high. But like I said, when it's all said and done, I just want to, I just want to sit and talk boxing with the guys that I fought with or fought against.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk boxing. I don't mean to cut you off, Mike. What were you going through, Jamel, when you said, you know what, you woke up this morning, you brush your teeth, and you know what, it's coming off today. It's coming off today.
Yeah, it's crazy. While I was sitting there, I was thinking to myself, I'm just gonna say it now because, like I said, me, I'm not an ugly person. So, like I said, to Anthony Stacks, I apologize if I feel like I offended anybody. But like I said, I felt, I was offended. But me as a person, I could be the bigger man and say if I jumped out of character a bit. So definitely, It's not who I am, but like I said, sometimes that Marine in me does come out. But like I said, at the end of the day, I will, be the bigger man and apologize. So if you guys, even if he doesn't even watch this interview, or one of you guys speak to him, like I said, so I'm just here to be the bigger man and just move on and talk boxing. Like I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I respect the media because sometimes I need the media against me at times because it just, as a fighter, it motivates you. I don't want. If sometimes you feel like everybody thinks it's an easy fight, I think it gets in fighters' heads and they can get lackadaisical in the gym. But like for the Ito fight, when Ito fight, a lot of people counted me out, but I used that as motivation, and I think I fought the best fight of my career at the time with that motivation. So like I said, because at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, I don't shy from the media. I'm not the type of person that's because I don't like what the media says. I'm going to stop doing interviews and things like that. I said, no, I feel like I need the media just as much as they may need us, but to write a story. But I need the media to get the exposure. Or I need the media to keep my name relevant. So that's why I always give respect back to the media. So it never be, for me at least, never be, oh, Jamel hates the media. No, not at all. Like I said, they're entitled to their opinion, but